Yeah, I'm just like, let's see, where did that app go? I got too many apps on my phone. The other thing that drives me crazy is that people feel like they have the need to only have 1 or 2 pages of apps. I don't know how people do that.
I only have 2.
Really? How do you do that?
I used to only have 1, but
How do you do it? I can't make it happen.
I don't have that many apps, John. I just don't use it enough.
I've got several hundred.
Wow.
I think. I mean, there is a way to count, isn't there?
Yeah, settings, general, about,
Yeah,
applications.
Let's see.
Go on, how many have you got?
395.
Wow. I
Yeah,
have 67.
I've had more than that before. I cut back. I do go through and delete some every now and then. Some of these I have no idea what they are or where they came from.
Sure.
Usually that's because I go to the Starbucks app and get the free app of the week. I was like, oh, it's free. Maybe there's something good here. And I mess around with it for a little bit, and I was like, oh, no, it's not for me.
Yeah, I do that. So if I see one kind of pop up on deals and stuff, oh, it's free this week, I'm like, oh, I'll grab that now while it's free, and then I never use it.
Yeah.
I dread to think how many apps I've actually downloaded, just in my iTunes account.
I'm looking to see, let's see, the last page to get an idea of what is in here. I've got Mimpy Dreams, which was a free game, which is a popular game on the App Store, which I thought maybe I would review sometime, but not while it's free. Haha. Prisma, because I've been seeing a lot of people using these weird filters on Twitter this week.
Oh, yeah, I saw somebody tweet about that.
Yeah, but I haven't done anything with that yet. Also thought possible review. New Pythonista 3, which I shouldn't have downloaded because the one script I wanted to use turns out only works on 2. Sheets, Google Sheets. Roadblock, content blocker. Highball for cocktails, because someone asked me to... I came up with a cocktail and someone asked me for a highball recipe for it, and I obliged. Engage, which is that Twitter app. Have you heard about that?
Oh, yeah. This is for very special Twitter users. Well, it's not. I know everyone can use it, but...
Yeah, everybody can use it, man. You got to be a player and engage with your audience. And then there's also the other one is... I forget what the other one's called. Discover, maybe, or something like that. Text Grabber, which was a freebie for a week, which is like a OCR thing. Bitcam from Icon Factory.
And this is all. These are all on your last home.
This is the last partial page of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth page, I think.
Oh my god, that's too many, John.
Lummabee, which I have no idea what it is. It was probably one of those free ones I was mentioning from Starbucks. It looks like it's a Photos app. It is. It's a Photos app, and I don't know what it does.
Well,
See, this is part of the show. This is where John goes through and reads 9 pages. And there's a lot of folders here, Rob, full of lots of stuff. 9 pages of apps. It's a little bit of a wasteland after page 2, gotta say.
And this is why I only have 2 pages. Because everything else would just be garbage, and I wouldn't touch it.
Oh, it's not nearly as bad as I said. It's only 8 pages. It's not 9.
Oh, it's only 8. Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah, it's only 8 because the first one is the the widgets, and the good thing about the widgets with iOS 10, for whatever reason, mine won't load any data, so they're not very useful. They're just blank rectangles, blank rectangles.
Sounds really useful.
I do have one that has shortcuts to like send you a telegram and a few other people, but that's about all it does right now for me.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. I got that little game Steve in there still, though. That works. That's a little endless runner with a dinosaur.
Oh, it's the Chrome dinosaur, right? As in the dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
It shows up in Chrome when you haven't got any internet.
I knew that was a familiar thing, but it shows you how much I know about Chrome that I couldn't quite place it.
Yeah, I was playing that this week because our internet went down for a little bit, and I got like 700 or something in that game.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, that was a productive 10 minutes.
No, that is good. I'm not very good at games. That's why I review them so I can get better at them.
Shall we?
So we have some. We're doing the cold open today, Rob.
We're just going for it.
We're just going to keep going
because
we're just talking about games, and you should tell me about Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. So we mentioned it the last week, and then me and Dave mentioned it the episode before. We were hoping for some kind of announcement, but they just released it on backwards compatibility. So if you've got a copy for the Xbox 360, you can play it on the Xbox One, or you can download it from the store as well. I think it's on sale right now. So it's not quite a remaster that I would have liked, but I was saying to you, it's kind of nice just to be able to play everything on the same console. And I think I'm probably about halfway through my 360 games that I've got that are backwards compatible now. So if they keep going, I might be able to get rid of my 360 at some point.
How does that work? Do you know, how do they make it backwards compatible? Because it seems odd to me that it takes them long periods of time to make these games compatible, because obviously they're not changing the disc, right? They're doing something, I guess, server side to make it work. Is that right?
Well, when you if I put in the disc, it downloads the digital copy, and the digital copy just uses the disc as a authentication to show that you've purchased it.
Got it.
So I assume that what they're doing is repackaging up the game.
Right, they're doing some sort of programming to make it work on the new hardware.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just nice that the stuff I've got lying, the games I've still got for the 360, which is quite a few at this point. Some of that I still haven't played. As I say, maybe half of them now are on backwards compatibility, so it's quite nice.
Oh, that's good. I was going to tell you about a game that we just got for the PS4, and I can't remember what it's called, so it's not very useful information. I don't remember. Never mind.
Brilliant. Well, if you think of it, let me know.
It's one of the newer ones. I don't know. It's an online-only thing where you go around and shoot stuff. Overwatch, that's what it is. Is that the one? Yep, that's the one. I haven't tried it yet. That's why I don't know what it... I have not even seen any of my kids playing it, so I'm not even sure. Other than I've heard it's really good from them.
Yeah, I have heard it's good, but the thought of playing online with people is just awful. I can't.
Yeah, that was kind of my reaction too. And then I guess you can play against some bots, but that's probably pretty lousy. I don't know. Then that's never really a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, like Rocket League have kind of done it quite well, because you basically, for the most part, the only interaction you can have is the preset. There's kind of like 12 preset, messages that you can send while you're playing a game. Mm-hmm. So there's no talking or anything like that unless you're in a party with friends or whatever.
Yeah, tell me about your Rocket League addiction a little more.
Yeah, I think I've played it every day this week in whatever possible spare time I can find.
It's good you can play it kind of for just a short time and still enjoy it too, I found.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Like just before I came up to talk to you, I just turned it on, played one game, and then went, all right, okay, I'll go off and do that, because for online, like, the games are only 5 minutes long.
Right.
You can change that locally. If you're just playing against bots or whatever locally, you can change it to like 10 minutes, I think, or 15. But yeah, all the online games are just 5 minutes. So it's really great to just kind of jump on, play a game, and then turn it off again.
Yeah, no, it's a fun game. I mean, they did a really nice job. It took me a while to get used to the controls. They seem to me to be kind of different for a driving game.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual. And I've actually had some problems when my thumb's really hurting from holding boost because of where it is.
Yeah.
So I'm considering maybe mapping it to a different button so that I'm not constantly having my thumb and my finger in that position. But yeah, and it's considering basically all it is football, but with cars.
Right.
They've done a really good job of making it interesting and kind of fun to play.
Yep.
And they've got different game modes. So you've got standard football. They've also got hockey and basketball.
Oh, are those modes new? Because I don't think I've ever seen those.
I think so. I think certainly basketball, I know, was introduced probably only a month or so ago.
Okay, yeah, it's been a while since I played.
That is extraordinarily hard to play basketball.
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, it's a big hoop, basket or whatever. It's not small or anything, but it's kind of difficult because it's quite a small level. But yeah, it's really fun. You can mix it up between all the different game modes, and you can play anything from like 1-on-1 up to 4-on-4. depending on
Yes.
what mode you're playing. So yeah, it's as I say, I can't really stop myself playing.
Yeah, no, it's so I guess if we haven't really explained it, but might be people who don't know what it is. It's basically playing football with cars, and they're like buggies. They're crazy looking cars, and they do stuff like that. You can jump and boost and do all kinds of crazy maneuvers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you can kind of deck out you can decorate your car and do other fun things.
Yeah, my car right now has a nice pair of kind of sunglasses that I unlocked.
Nice.
They look a bit ridiculous because it's a car, but it's fun because you kind of get these random drops of items like little flags and things to go on the aerial, and different kind of designs for the cars and stuff. So yeah, it's really fun.
That's cool. Well, I've been playing a car game this week, which is Neon Drive, which is an iOS and Mac game that's very much like an 80s themed arcade game, which is kind of fun. It was surprisingly fun. I mean, I think part of the fun is just because they did a really good job with the soundtrack and the kind of the look of this, the 80s look of the game. Yeah,
definitely. The soundtrack, I'm not a huge fan of the game. I think it's nice looking and it is an interesting kind of concept, but the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah, it's a very hard game. Did you find it hard? I mean, I had a very hard time progressing because it's a real twitchy game. You have to be really good at changing lanes in a split second.
Yeah, that was like I think I said to you, like it was almost stressing me out a little bit because I was so like you've got to concentrate so hard to make sure you get it right. But yeah, it's a really fun game, but it's maybe not something I'm going to come back to too often.
Yeah, it is one of those that it is maybe a little stressful, but you've got 4 lanes, and the mechanics are really easy because all you do is at least on iOS is you tap the left and right side of the screen to change lanes, and you got to go back and forth across 4 lanes and dodge various obstacles, whether they're like physical, I don't know, like barriers or other cars and that kind of thing. It was kind of fun.
And they also have some nice wallpapers on their website as well.
Yeah, I thought those. You mean like when you just kind of scroll down towards the bottom of that website?
Yeah, there's a wallpapers link right at the bottom of the main page.
That I actually didn't see. Okay, yeah. I'll have to check that out.
I don't seem to get out of it now. Yeah, down the bottom they've got soundtrack link where you can buy the soundtrack, and then wallpapers as well. So they've got a few. They've got some mobile wallpapers and desktop as well.
Yeah, the soundtrack is on, if you like, it's on Bandcamp, so you can listen to it online or pay like, I don't know, maybe it's $5 or $6, something like that, to get it, the whole thing.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, I know it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I can €7 it says here. So yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know what the exchange rate is for euros right now, but
no, you won't be able to use them much longer. So there's that.
So yeah, so we'll put a link in the show notes to that game. On that note, Rocket League as well. If anyone wants to add me and play, let's go for it. Same username as Twitter, RMLewisUK.
Is it PS4 only? I don't even know.
No, it is. It's available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
No, I guess that's right, because you're playing on the Xbox then?
No, I'm playing on PS4.
You're playing on the PS4. Why do I do this? Every time I think you have an Xbox One.
No, I do. I have both.
One. All right. So it used to be that I used to say tell you about the PS4, and you say I don't have one.
Yeah, and no,
now I can't make a mistake.
Yeah, because I bought one to play Uncharted 4.
That's right. That's right.
And I got Rocket League on the PS4 just because there's a couple of people that I know already have it on PS4, so I figured I might as well get it there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I assume it's not cross-platform in terms of the online play.
You can play between PS4 and PC, and also between Xbox One and PC, but there's none between the two consoles.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I tend to just be playing with random people online for the most part.
Yeah. Have you played with anybody you know yet?
Yeah, a friend of mine, Craig. We played for a few hours, and it's fun to. It's definitely better playing with other people that you're actually talking to, because you can kind of communicate a bit better.
Right.
But yeah, it's good fun.
Well, maybe you'll see me on there sometime. But if I'm playing and I'm really good, it probably means you're playing against one of my kids.
That's fine. I've added you on there. Somebody will, we'll see.
Yeah. one of my boys can't stand that it's my name, that the username is my name, because he doesn't want everybody to think that he's me. So
Sure.
I got that going for me. Especially if they see me on there doing how I normally play games, which is really poorly.
Right. So that's how I'll know then.
Yes, that's how you'll be able to tell immediately.
Cool. Okay. I think that was it for games. That was.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we've got this topic here. You've got a pretty interesting question here that I think we'll just discuss for a little bit. Do you want to intro it?
Yeah, I was thinking about this because David Sparks invited me to kind of share my home screen on MacSparky.com last week, and one of the questions he asked was kind of like this, which is, if you were in charge of Apple, what would you change about the iPhone, iPad, Watch, or Apple TV, or the Mac for that matter? And I thought it was kind of an interesting question, and I figured we could talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I'm going to start with the iPhone and the Mac because there's one thing that has always bugged me. I just want more colours. Like the iPod Touch, I want to be able to buy, a red iPhone or, that nice blue that they had for the iPod Touch. And the same for the Mac. I mean, there's no reason they couldn't do it for both of those.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I mean, it does strike me as a little odd that they haven't gone down that path yet. I suppose in part maybe it's because there are already so many different models. When you think about it, I mean, there are a lot of different models of phone, and then even within each model, there's different storage sizes, and then there's different carrier bands for cellular and all that, the cellular data. So maybe that's part of it, that it would just splinter that even further.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, as you say, you've got, two current models of iPhone, and they both come in 4 colours. Yeah, 4 colours, and then of course you've got the 3 storage sizes, and as you say, carrier and stuff, and then there's the older phones as well. So I can see it from a logistics standpoint, but come on, it's Apple, they can do it.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think it'd be fun. I think especially. I almost felt like we would have seen it by now, given the emphasis on fashion and stuff with the watch. That it just felt like maybe that was a path they'd go down with the phone, because the phone is very much, to my mind, it's very much a similar type of device. It's just something that people like to make a statement about their personality with cases and things. So why not make the phone itself a little more spiffy?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I was thinking about what to change, but for me, it's mostly a software thing or a service thing, because one thing is, fix the App Store. It still drives me crazy. I worry about this advertising direction that the App Store is going in, not so much because I'm against the ads. I'm trying to keep an open mind about that, and Apple seems to have at least publicly stated that their heart's in the right place with that. But the problem is that one of the things they keep bringing up is that the ads are going to be relevant, and I don't know how they can possibly make the ads relevant until they fix search, and search is still just horribly broken on the App Store. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say horribly broken. It is better than it used to be, but it's got a long way to go. I think I think Apple has a lot of data that they could use and bring to bear to creating, search result lists that are ranked a little better and more relevant to users who are looking for something. Definitely.
I mean, perfect example of this. You said to me, download Neon Drive, try it out. So I went to the App Store, I searched for Neon Drive, and for the first couple of minutes, I just wasn't sure if I was definitely getting the right game.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, the top result was the right game, I thought.
Yep.
But then there was another one that was like Neon Drive 80s or something, or something very similar, and it kind of wasn't obvious. It wasn't immediately obvious to me which one was the right one, and I didn't want to get scammed out of £3 or whatever it was.
Right.
And in this case, yeah, the search was right, and that was the top result. But the fact that I'm already thinking that, I'm not sure, is this definitely the right one? It's kind of telling as to what the search is like.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an app that has a unique name and you get the name right, you're going to be good. If you get it a little bit wrong, like if you typed in neon driver, it might not come up right. But they need to account for that kind of thing. I mean, I'll give you a good example. Like there's a developer tool called Dash, which is for displaying and searching developer documentation of all kinds for all different languages, and I use it primarily for iOS stuff. But it's called Dash. Well, you know what you get when you type in Dash? You get all those Dinner Dash games.
Yep. Yeah, Dash is really hard to find on the store.
Super hard to find, and I don't think the developer. They may have changed this now, but that's why so many people have these long convoluted names where it's like Dash : a developer tool for reading documentation for programming languages for developers, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
because that helps bring it up, because the search only works off of the title. What does it work off of? The title and the keywords. The description is irrelevant.
Yeah, it's kind of. Even like Overcast has to have Overcast podcast player because there's another Overcast app. But right. I feel if I search for Overcast in the store, Apple should know that I've downloaded probably 20 podcast apps in the last 5 years. They could prioritize that. They should know that what I'm looking for is probably the podcast app and not the weather app of the same name.
Right. There's all sorts of metadata like that and things that you can kind of interpolate from other data of people, various people's usage of the App Store that, like you said, and with that example, make it, could make the search results a lot more relevant, but they're not. And it does concern me that that's going to be really hard to fix. The other thing that is I'd be interested to see how this plays out, but you're going to be able to, as a developer, buy keywords of your competitors. So I'll be able to buy, I don't know, like for Blink, apparently I could, and this is going to be my test. Can I buy iTunes?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And for associate, Amazon. Now that one should work but I'm just curious whether Apple will let the iTunes one through, see what happens.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But that's supposed to give the little guys a fighting chance, and I'm not convinced that that's going to work.
No, I'm not convinced either, because surely if that was happening, let's assume that for whatever reason you're allowed to buy the Amazon keyword, surely Amazon could just throw more money at it and make that problem go away.
Right, exactly. Yes. That was what my next point was going to be. I just don't expect that I'm going to be able to afford enough keywords to make a dent and make it do anything other than give more of my share of the proceeds to Apple.
Sure. I mean, Amazon could throw $100 every click if they wanted to. It's Amazon. If they really wanted to make sure that they always showed up, that they could just outbid everybody.
Right, because they're not selling the app. That's the thing. I think that'll be interesting how that plays out too, because free apps like that from big companies, that Amazon's not selling their app, they're selling goods on their website. That will be interesting. I think that's a good point. I mean, what's the cost of acquisition of a customer of Amazon, and what is a new customer worth? Probably a lot more than $2 or $3. Yeah, so I guess that's one thing I'd fix. I guess the other thing I'd fix would be the multitasking on the iPad Pro, just because it's awful and it needs work. I think it's going to come. I just don't think it was ready for the announcements at WWDC, but it's really hard. If you have a lot of apps, and that I have a lot of apps, it's hard to scroll through all those if there's something that you want to use that you haven't tried in a while. Sure.
So I don't have an iPad of any description. Am I right in thinking the multitasking is the kind of little vertical scrolling kind of list of the apps? Or sorry, not a list, it's almost like kind of screenshots or whatever on the right. Is that correct?
Yep, that's absolutely right. And it's just not, it doesn't scale very well.
Sure. Yeah.
You can only ever see like three. Yeah, you can only ever see like 3 or 4 of them at a time.
I'm surprised they haven't gone for like a stacked thing, almost like Android does, or even like Safari tabs.
Yep.
Where you could just see the top of each app. I guess that might be. I mean, you would know better than I do, because I don't use an iPad at all. But
Yeah, I think if they made it a little wider, you could do like dual rows. I mean, I like the implementation that was in the iOS 10 Wish concept video that Federico and his designer did.
Sure.
I'm forgetting the guy's name, unfortunately, but yeah, that video, I think they did a pretty good job of giving an example of something that might work.
Yeah.
So what else would you change?
Yeah, so I've got another hardware one. And this kind of just applies to across the line, I guess. Just stop making everything thinner. Just for a couple of years, just keep the iPhone the same thickness, and just, let's just improve the battery life. Like,
yeah,
I get why they have to do it, because there's this perception that if they release a phone that looks the same as the year before, then the media just kind of, they completely destroy it. Oh, it's not even a new phone, it's exactly the same, why even bother? And, that genuinely is an issue for sales, because as you said before, like it's a fashion item.
Right.
But the iPhone is already ridiculously thin. I just wish they would keep it that thickness for a while and just improve the battery life significantly more, because it feels like what they do is they match the battery to make sure they always get, that 10 or 12 hours battery life, or whatever it is they come out with. I just wish they'd leave it for a little bit longer so we could have a better battery.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would love to have better battery life. You could never have enough battery life as far as I'm concerned. Why not have it last 24 hours so I can, wake up in the morning and still have something left?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I mean, I think hardware wise, I'm trying to think what hardware wise I would like. I agree on the battery thing would be great. I don't know. I've got I guess no real complaints other than I guess I would like it to be a little less slippery.
Yeah, I noticed that. I took my iPhone out of my case the other day. I've got the Apple leather case. And I took it out, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to use a case anymore, because the case is getting a bit battered up now. It's kind of, year or year and a half old or something. Right. And I took it out, and within 5 minutes, I was like, no, there's no way I can carry this around like this. Like, it's just way too slippery.
I've been going caseless for about 8 months now, 6 months. Yeah, I'm just, I grip it in a death grip with both hands.
Now, have you got the 6S or the 6?
Plus, the 6S Plus,
yeah,
the big one.
Because my understanding that the S is slightly less slippery from what I've read.
Yes, that's what I've heard. I don't really know because I never had a 6.
Yeah, so and I've got a 6, so I don't know. I guess maybe mine's slightly worse than what you've got, but who knows?
Yeah. I put iOS 10 on my phone a couple of days ago, and I would not recommend it necessarily to anybody who's not crazy, because it's just it's just kind of broken in all sorts of ways, as early betas tend to be. But it's fun. I mean, I actually like all that iMessage stuff with the stickers and lasers and all that jazz.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that the public beta is out already, given what you've said and Frank was saying the other day, a few different things that he'd seen. Because it seems like it's really not ready even for public beta.
Yeah, a lot of people that I'd talked to, their bet was that it would be the third developer beta that would probably be the public one. It's beta 1 was probably more stable than your typical beta, typical beta 1. Beta 2 is, I don't know that it's much better. I think it's crashing less, but it also introduced new bugs. It's mostly just UI bugs, though. It's like animations that are weird, rotation issues, things that just don't work quite right. Some third-party apps are a little strange here and there, depending on how custom they are. So there are problems, but it's usable. It's just one of those things, too. It's when you upgrade to it, because it's doing all sorts of indexing and things, when you upgrade it. So it was my phone got extremely hot, and then it was just the battery was just tanking for several hours afterwards. So I plugged it in, and it's fine now, though.
Yeah, I assume that's doing all the kind of new Siri indexing and
yeah, I think so.
Possibly a load of other stuff as well.
And maybe doing all the photos where it's detecting the faces and doing all those other things. And I've got there are at least I don't know. I don't know if I should, if it's true that I have a lot of photos on my phone, because what I've really got is a lot of thumbnails of photos that are in iCloud on my phone.
Sure. Yeah.
So who knows how that actually works?
Who knows? So there was something else actually that we wrote in the document. Just kind of what app doesn't exist that you want for, for any of the platforms.
I didn't realize I totally skipped over that. Yep.
No, it's fine. I just thought I'd mention it because there's kind of two for the TV that really bug me. Amazon Prime Video is one. Amazon just need to stop acting like children and just deal with it. I don't see that if they've already got an app on iOS, it makes no difference if they put it on the Apple TV or not.
Yeah, it's the main reason I have a Roku stick, is because it's the only way I can get Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm buying a new TV soon, probably in the next month or two. And I think I mentioned last episode, I'm going to get a 4K TV. And I'm going to want to watch, Netflix or Amazon Prime in 4K. I'm just going to have to buy Amazon's stupid Fire TV box. Not that it's stupid. It just kind of bugs me that, yeah, okay, fine, the Apple TV doesn't do 4K anyway, but I just want a box that does all the things. And I'm just hoping that maybe the Fire TV isn't as bad as it was when I tried it out, a year ago or something. I found it a bit janky and a few things were weird.
Well, the thing, I think Amazon is hurting themselves in the long run with this, because, I do have you and I are willing to go out and get some other little box to play it if we need to, but I don't think most people are willing to do that. And even the fact that I have this Roku stick, I don't like the Roku nearly as much as the Apple TV. So I don't use it that often, and it's only if there's something really compelling that I want to see on Amazon Prime that I'll even go to it. So for the most part, I just don't bother.
Yeah, and I think, of course Amazon probably know this, but for me, I'm not getting any value out of Amazon Prime Video, not because it's not good, not because it's not a good service, because I'm sure it is, but because I just can't use it on the device that I've chosen to use, because they're being stubborn about, Apple's cut or whatever the hell it is that they're complaining about. If it was on the Apple TV, I'd certainly at least get some value out of it. I mean, up until this point, the only thing I've watched on Prime Video is Man in the High Castle, but that's just because obviously that's a Prime show, so I didn't have, there's nowhere else that you can watch that.
That was the last time I used Prime Video on my Roku, was for that, and then since then haven't touched it. Yeah, you got to wonder. It's got to either they're not going to do it at all, or it's just incredibly low priority, because they don't have. I don't think it would be complex for them to create an app on the Apple TV. I mean, they're just another. Those TV channel apps. A lot of them are just done in the TV XML language, which is really just kind of a thin layer on top of UIKit. It's not. They're pretty easy to make if all you're doing is creating little thumbnails of different TV shows that you want to present to users. Oh yeah,
definitely. And let's not pretend that Amazon have got some of the best engineers in the world. I'm sure they can throw together a TV app.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's web based too. So, and they do know the web.
I mean, and the last one is kind of a weird one, but it's amazing to me that doesn't exist. When you buy a Blu-ray or a DVD and they give you those codes to download it, ultraviolet codes. Don't get me wrong, downloading them is a complete mess. But why isn't there an app for that? I've got this, hypothetically, I've got this library of ultraviolet movies or whatever in their stupid system, but they don't have an app for me to watch it on the TV. You still just have to use, their website on a Mac or their app on iOS and then AirPlay it. It seems crazy to me that they wouldn't build an Apple TV app.
Oh yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, because gosh, I've actually never used that, because I've never bought a Blu-ray ever.
Right.
No physical media. Although I did, after reading, I was listening to ATP the other night, and Marco Arment was describing how he goes about ripping Blu-rays, and I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
might be a good way to get a little collection of movies. Just go down to the public library, check out a bunch of movies, and bam.
I'm sure that's completely legal.
Not that I'm gonna do that, Rob.
Of course not.
But you can get one of those Blu-ray players to hook into your Mac for about $100, and then the software is all relatively cheap or free. So
yeah, with the Blu-rays, I mean, for the most part, I just buy digital, movies and TV shows. But
same here.
For some movies that I really like and I want, bonus features and stuff like that, and it's not always easy to get the bonus features that are available. So I do buy Blu-rays for some movies, and they have the codes of them. I never do it. I actually wrote a blog post a while ago trying to redeem one of these codes. We'll put a link in the show notes, and it took me something like an hour and a half to go through all the hoops and create an account and stuff like this just to get the code downloaded.
Right, just so that you have an entry in some database somewhere that you can watch this in their lousy app or AirPlay it to your TV, right?
Exactly. But that to me seems like the perfect candidate for something that they could build. If the thing is, I don't believe them. I don't believe that they do ultraviolet codes because they really think it's a useful service. They don't really want people being able to watch it on their TV. They want people to go out and buy the digital version again.
Yeah, it's a hedge against digital downloads, I think, and but they cripple it because they, like you said, they don't really want you to do that in the first place.
No, exactly. But,
yeah. I like your suggestion of a now playing complication for the watch too. That's a good idea.
Yeah, this is something I can't remember which show it was on now. It was either Upgrade or ATP. I can't remember which one. But they were talking about watchOS 3 and how obviously you've now got this dock concept instead for apps and things like that, and glances are wrong. Glances are gone. But it now means it's basically an extra tap or swipe to get to the now playing controls. It's already I've got to look at my watch, swipe up, and do left, right, pause or whatever. But now you've got to press the button, go to the app, click the app, and then you can do it. And I just feel like a now playing complication is that's perfect for it, because it would be right there on the screen. I could just look at my watch and tap, and I can pause or skip or whatever it is that I want to do.
Yep.
But who knows?
Yeah, no, that would be really nice, because I use my watch. I have used my watch for that before, but right now you have to swipe up to get the glances. And then if you're not on the right one, you got to figure out where it is, because you don't necessarily remember the order. And yeah, I think it would be a good thing to have. Yeah,
hopefully. I mean, maybe somebody will be able to put that together, a third party. I don't know if that's even possible. Maybe Apple will do it before September, but who knows?
Yeah, it seems like something that should be doable. I think, well, it could. I was going to say, I think until we get to watch OS 3, it's probably not. It probably wouldn't be that useful because the data doesn't update necessarily that fast.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That could be a problem, but no, I think it's definitely doable.
Who knows? But cool. I think that just about wraps it up for this week.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a blockbuster week. I don't really know why, but I thought I'd say that.
Well, there you go.
I've been trying to make it a good one. Going to make it a good one.
Well, there we go. So, John, you're on Twitter at John Voorhees, JohnVoorhees. And I am on Twitter at RMNewsUK.
Very good.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good. Talk to you later, Rob.
Bye.